Hey YouTube, Paul Phillips here with Pat Tech Photography and Gear Reviews. Today we're going to take a look at my insane journey into the world of Sony cameras with the A6000, so let's check it out. Okay, so I thought I'd do this video and share this with you. Just kind of show you, I haven't lost my mind, you know, going from pro, like Nikon Pro DSLRs. I've got 2 or 3 D200s and been using them for years, and totally enamored with Nikon and still love my Nikon cameras. But there was just too much, you know, hoopla about the Sony cameras for me to ignore. And so my number one reason for purchasing this camera was it's such a nice camera to, you know, as far as a small form factor, to be able to just pick it up, shove it in your pocket and go, take it on a vacation with you. I bought it with the 16 to 50 millimeter kit lens. And so what I thought I'd do in this video is just kind of share with you some of the things I've discovered so far using the camera. I totally love it. I mean, it's a cool, really cool camera. The LCD panel on the back is like a, you know, the cockpit of a fighter airplane. I mean, it's just got so much information that it puts out there. And the phase detection, 12 frames per second, shooting burst mode, and so all the things that, you know, you've heard on the different videos from Gary Fong and guys like that. I found it to be quite true, and I've had a lot of fun using this camera so far. Now, I bought this between Christmas and New Year's this year, paid about $630 for it on one of the Boxing Day sales. So let me walk you through the things that I've purchased for it so far, and then you can decide for yourself if this is something that might help you. So the first thing I thought was that the LCD display is pretty vulnerable to scratches, and so what I did was I just went online and I picked up this product made by Afunta, so www.afunta.com, and very similar to, it's a clear plastic cover that goes over your LCD panel, very similar to what you'd put on an iPhone, but I found the material to be it's a lot thicker, but basically just peel the back of it off and it self-adheres to the LCD panel. So I was really happy with that. I really like this panel. I mean, it just, you know, I've got a granddaughter that's a year and a half old, and you know, you can really get the camera down low, taking pictures of kids, and then with the burst mode, it just helps so much in capturing good quality images. And 24 frames per second allows you to crop in, or 24 megapixels allows you to crop in. So there's a lot of things to like about this camera, you know, even for me just using it as a backup to my Pro DSLRs. So that was the first thing, the LCD screen protector, and this thing was about, you know, 10 bucks online. So the next thing that I wanted to do was right away, you know, you go to use this camera, you want to do selfies, or you're doing something in the studio, and, you know, I'm looking for a remote control. So I saw a video for the Meke battery grip, and this one that I have here is the Meke-A6300 Pro battery grip, and the reviews look pretty good, so I went and bought one. And what clinched it for me was that it came with the 2.4 gigahertz remote controller. So what I did was, the grip itself, it's definitely, it's a plastic grip, no two ways about it, but it has a real high quality feel to it. It's got a rubber material on it that it almost looks like it's integrated with the plastic. I don't know how they've done it, because it doesn't look like it's something that's glued on. So really all I was looking for was a way to shoot in portrait mode. And a lot of people complain about the ergonomics of the A6000. I found, like, my hands are not huge, but I found the ergonomics are pretty good. Like when you grip it like this, you know, the camera's, it kind of hangs on your fingers. So I think probably what I'll adopt is a hand strap, or make some kind of a lanyard, you know, if I'm out in Niagara Falls or something like that, just so somebody's not going to come along and grab the camera out of my hand. But yeah, like I don't really have any issues with the ergonomics, but for portrait shooting, you know, there was something lacking. So you've seen the videos, but I'll do it quickly for you anyways. We just pop this off, the battery cover, take the battery out, and then you have to install this dummy battery here. like so. It snaps into place, and as you fold it over, there's a little rubber piece here that just kind of lifts up and out of the way, and what that does is it reveals 3 gold contacts here to connect with the battery grip. So that's step 1, and then the grip just comes over like so. You put it on top. Whoops, first you got to put your batteries in. So put those in, tighten it down, and then just tighten it down like you would any grip. So once you've got it snug, there's an on-off button on the back, so I've turned that to on. And if you want to use the button on the grip for shooting, you have to plug in this little cable that comes with it. And so you open the panel on the side, plug the cable in, and then the other end, which looks like a little 3.5 millimeter cable, just plugs into the appropriate corresponding slot like so. We'll turn the camera on. Powers up. Let's take the lens cap off here, and then I'll put the flash on so we get a decent picture, and then I can show you in the frame. But so I was a little slow. I'm just in manual mode here. Let me put it in programmed automatic. Okay, and I'll put that picture up on the screen for you. So pretty straightforward in its use. So like I say, those were the first 2 purchases that I made for my A6000. And I think I'm going to get a lot of use out of this. Ergonomically, this makes the camera so nice to use. You know, it just gives you more to hang on to, gives you a really good grip for doing portrait shots. Okay, so let's turn off the battery power here. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to show you was this cool little radio trigger. That you can do interval timing, you can do delay timing, and it's 2.4 gigahertz. So I just push the main button here. So I left the camera on there, and really just, you got one large button, you got a decent LCD display here. There's a little loop on the end that I'll probably put a lanyard on this to hang on to it a little easier. But really, it's just a matter of pressing on it. And so you can do the pre-focus, and so you got a great little remote control. Yeah, so, you know, and for 50 bucks for the Meke battery grip plus the 2.4 gigahertz transmitter, like or shutter release, I'm quite impressed with it. The overall quality and what you get is really cool. Okay. Next on the list is I started looking at some of my Nikon stuff, or the gear that I use in my Nikon cameras, and what would work on the Sony and what wouldn't. And I was really pleasantly surprised to find out that this little gizmo here, the Young Nuo 560TX, works really well on Sony A6000. This is a manual transmitter, similar to Photox Odin. It has a display on the back. So let me just pop it on and give you a quick demo. I'm just going to turn the camera off and pop this guy on the front here. Make sure it's on secure. Got a 563 here. That over to the side. And the other thing I have is a couple of RF603N radio triggers. And I have 2 of these. And I just discovered the other night when I went to do this video for the first time that these will actually work with the Sony A6000, which is kind of cool. So really all you have to do is the little cable that comes with your Meke battery grip, you just take it out, and instead of putting it into the battery grip, you plug it into your radio trigger. Make sure the radio trigger is turned on. It is. Turn on the other one, and we should. So that was kind of cool. So that's the first thing. So the RF603, these are RF603Ns, by the way, for Nikon. So I have 2 of them, and they seem to work fairly well, and I can adjust the output of my speed light in manual mode only, of course, but just try it again. Yeah, so for studio shooting, that's really cool. I mean, I use these things all the time with my Nikon gear, being able to cross over and use them here. Just kind of a cool little thing I thought I'd show you. I decided to pick up some Wasabi batteries. Not for sushi, but spare batteries for my, and I never heard of these things before, so I needed a couple of batteries to fit in the battery grip, and I found these online. They're called Wasabi Power TMs, and you know, neat little kit. Again, roughly 50 bucks online. Comes with, you know, a little charger that you can use in your car. Comes with another little 2-prong adapter for, looks like a European plug, and then the charger itself. And these guys, basically the battery just fits on, you push it into place like so. It's got the same as Apple chargers, it's got the little prongs that pop up, and I found this to be quite a handy little unit as well. So just to sort of recap, basically I've taken the Sony A6000, I've set it up with the Meke battery grip, the 2.4 gigahertz shutter release that comes with it, or interval timer, you know, however you want to look at it, depends on how you want to use it. The Wasabi charger, and the Afunta LCD panel protector, and then, you know, being able to use my 560 TX, that's pretty cool. So far so good. Now the next video that I'm going to do, I purchased one of the photodiox adapters, and obviously being a Nikon shooter, I want to be able to use my Nikon glass, so I went after one of the cheaper adapters that will probably give me manual control only. But for landscape photography and, you know, some portrait stuff where I'm not under pressure, it should work just fine. So I hope this video helps you, you know, maybe just gives you kind of a different perspective. And I'm going to continue with the Sony camera. I mean, I love this thing. I wouldn't be surprised if I end up shooting full frame with Sony, or maybe, you know, eventually getting rid of my DSLRs. But I think if you watch some of the videos that somebody like Gary Fong has done, and basically states very clearly that, you know, this is the future of photography, I think the Nikon gear with the flip-up mirrors is really old technology, and something that needs to change. But almost forgot, one other thing that is really important for me with the Sony A6000 is being able to shoot high-speed sync. And what I did recently, probably 6 months ago with my Nikon gear, is I went out and bought a Flashpoint RL600B, and have been using it quite successfully with these cameras, right up to 1/8,000th of a second. And I know the Sony's only going to go to 1/4,000th of a second, but it's still high-speed sync, so it makes a heck of a difference in your shooting. So you'll probably see a follow-up video to this one. I have one of the new Pixel King Pro radio triggers on the way for Sony, because apparently that trigger will do high-speed sync. So if you tune in maybe a month or so, you'll probably see another video covering the RL600B and the Pixel King Pro radio trigger for Sony that fits on the A6000. And what I'll be testing is to make sure that that radio trigger, the transmitter, will fit on the top of the camera, will first of all do high-speed sync with the RL600B, which means the transmitter has to trigger the receiver, which is my Nikon receiver for Pixel King Pro. But that's what the claim is from Pixel King Pro, so come back and check out the video and we'll see if it works or not. That's my 2 cents worth for a Monday night. I hope it helps you. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like us, and we'll see you soon. Okay, bye for now.